Hello everyone and welcome back to my side of the internet. And today we're just going to be talking about and elaborating on some of my Tumblr posts because I need to ramble on about these topics more than I did in written form. You know, just for that clarification-ness. First things first is my William Afton pedophile post from October. You know, William Afton, the child murderer. People like turning him into a pedophile for some reason. I don't know why. It's very gross. And you shouldn't really be doing that to a character who's already a bad person. Like, it's bad enough these killed children. He doesn't need to diddle them as well. He doesn't need to do that. He doesn't need to sexually abuse his daughter either. I've seen William Afton and Vanessa fix for the FNAF movie after the FNAF movie was out, and it's like, yeah, he would not do that. He would not do that. Like you go up and you search William Afton or Springtrap X readers, and it's either barely legal, like a freshly 18-year-old reader, very illegal. Reader is a child. Reader is William Afton's daughter. And then there's uncomfortable as hell, no matter the legality, which is like daddy kink stuff and like stepdad stuff. It's gross. And also there's like a bunch of age play. No hate to people who participate in that, but it's not my cup of tea. You know, like I don't want to search up fan fiction, have that as like the only choice to read about. Like, I want normalcy, a little bit of normalcy. You know, I don't want William Afton to be out here like, that 18-year-old looks hot. No, I don't want any of that. Oh, look, I'm your new stepdaughter. I'm gonna fuck her instead of the person I married. Don't do that. Disgusting. It's actually partly ruined my experience with the character. This pedophilic bullshit. Like, people write him as a child predator despite it not being true. It's gross. And you know, two ex-official artists, Lady Fizzy and Pinky Pills, also portrayed William Afton as a child predator. And that's the kind of behavior that got their asses kicked off of the franchise, you know? And also the creator of Springtrap and Delia was also using Springtrap as an outlet for their own sick fantasies. There's an entire document about that. I'll link that in the description. But yeah, this kind of crap is awful. And if you want to write about a pedophile, do it with one that is already established to be a predator. Like David Roy Turner from Criminal Minds. He's also played by Matthew Lillard, and that's a murderous pedophile. Write about him, not William. Leave William alone. He don't, like, why do you people like pedophiles? You people were mad at Mando Pony for being a pedophile. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't see why it's hot. I don't see the appeal. It's no place to talk about child sexual assault. It's disgusting. This kind of thing is disgusting. Like, I understand, oh, it's fictional, and it should be like a safe place to write about these things, but like, please don't romanticize it. Please don't. Like, there was a fan fiction that like got recommended to me on like TikTok, and it's like Rita is freshly 18 and they're getting groomed by William Afton because they want a job, because they've had like a shitty life and they just want to like have a new start and like get a job, and then William Afton's over here like grooming them, and it's like it's gross. I stopped reading because it's like, this is getting too weird for me. What the hell? And like this is the main reason why in my own fan fictions, I've got a fan fiction going on which is FNAF AR rewritten. In that fan fiction, I have William Afton kill a child predator because I just don't like people writing Springtrap / William Afton as a child predator, because it's disgusting. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't see why people think it's hot. Like when I was little, like I came into this franchise, I became a fan of this franchise when I was like 12 or something in 2014, and I was reading William Afton Next Reader fan fictions as like a 12-year-old, 13-year-old. And I thought, oh yeah, this is cool. And then I got older and it's like, actually, no, that's really messed up. I should not be doing that. But yet again, back in those days on Wattpad, the dark times, it was normalized for 13-year-olds to write straight up pornography. And yeah, it was pretty disgusting. It was called Lemons, Limes, and Oranges or something, just citrusy. Yeah, I regret reading that because like it was gross. Like 13-year-olds shouldn't be doing that. Like it also, I think at the same time I was also watching like Assassination Classroom, which is not really something someone of my age should have been watching, but I watched it anyway, and I still love the anime even though it probably wasn't a good idea to watch it as a 12-year-old. But I digress. I did a lot of things on the internet in my younger years which have shaped me as an individual and have taught me to be better. Like with this, with this garbage, with the whole William Afton pedophilia shit. I don't understand how people think it's hot. And I've actually got like a tab up here. Yeah, so most of this is non-consensual. Oh my god, what the fuck? Yeah, I literally just put in William Afton / reader in Archive of Our Own, and already there's like 5, 6 fan fictions where it's non-consensual. That one's normal. That one's normal. That one's normal. Kidnapping. No consent. No consent. No consent. Lots of non-consensual stuff. Here we go. Reader is under 18. Gross. Please stop. I hate it. Yeah, that's my stance on William Afton being a pedophile. Please stop. Stop. Bad. Okay, the other thing I was going to talk about. Welcome to Ravenbrooks. You know, the Hello Neighbor cartoon. I watched season 1. It was good. It was cool. And it's like, oh my gosh, type 1 diabetes representation with Trinity Bales. It's like, woo! Finally, a character in the horror genre who has diabetes and is a main character and doesn't immediately die off from either their disease or some other diabetes complication. And then season 2 arrived, and in the first 2 episodes, everything came crashing down because they got medical terms incorrectly. And I have the right as a type 1 diabetic to be mad about it. And people in the comment section are like, ooh, blah, 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 blah. Shut up, please, shut up. I am a type 1 diabetic. I know how this disease works. I've suffered from these symptoms and things. I was diagnosed 2 years ago. It hasn't gotten much better, but I am doing as best as I can with my disease. But this cartoon just got everything completely incorrect, and I am rightfully mad about it. So, in the episode, Trinity Bales is having cookies, you know, and she accidentally has cookies with sugar in it instead of the sugar-free ones. And then she has a seizure where her eyes roll into the back of her head. She goes into a coma and has a nightmare. And then she wakes up in the nurse's room, and her parents say, oh, you had hypoglycemia. You must have eaten some sugar. Well, she actually went to hyperglycemia because she had sugar. Hypoglycemia is low sugar. I mean, you said hypoglycemia and the symptoms line up with hypoglycemia, but she was in hyperglycemia because she had sugar. It doesn't make sense. Like, hyperglycemia is high sugar, and if it's not treated, it can lead to diabetic ketoacidosis. And hyperglycemia has the symptoms of excessive thirst, feeling tired, dry mouth, weight loss, blurred vision. And like diabetic ketoacidosis has the symptoms of headaches, nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, change in mental status, which can be like depression or something else. I think I was in a very depressed mindset when I was in diabetic ketoacidosis, and I was losing my mind slightly as well because nobody was listening at the time, but that was my personal experience. Diabetic ketoacidosis can lead to loss of consciousness and a coma, but she wasn't high long enough for that to be able to happen. It was instant. The worst that should have happened to Trinity was probably wanting to drink lots of water, not going into the coma. We never see her check her sugars or take insulin at all. Like in the first season, like she has sugar-free cupcakes and she says, oh, I'm a diabetic, that's why there's no sugar in these cupcakes. And it was played off as like a joke to say, oh, sugar-free food tastes like shit. Well, it does in some cases, but some companies can actually make it taste like regular food. Like I thought that was like a joke thing, and like she does all this running around and going, like getting knocked out and stuff, and like not once do we see her check her blood sugars or take any insulin or food for her condition, which she should. Like I forgot that she was a diabetic after a bit, because like we just had that one-off thing with the cupcakes, and then it's like season 2 she goes into diabetic shock and has a nightmare and has a seizure. It's like, anyway, the only way she should have gone into that coma was hyperglycemia, which is what they called it despite it being hyperglycemia, which is the bit that's just pissing me off. Hyperglycemia has looking pale, shakiness, sweating, headache, fast heartbeat, fatigue, irritability or anxiety, difficulty concentrating, dizziness, lightheadedness, confusion or unusual behavior or both, loss of coordination, slowed speech, blurred vision, nightmares if asleep, unresponsiveness, loss of consciousness, and seizures. Trinity had a seizure, went to a coma, and then had a nightmare. So she had the symptoms of hypoglycemia. And they said that she went to hypoglycemia despite the fact that she went into hyperglycemia. It's two completely different things. Hypo, low. Hyper, high. It's completely different things. Like, I mean, props to Tiny Build for trying their best, but you could have done it better. Like, we don't have that much type 1 diabetes representation in any media. like usually have type 1 diabetic side characters, like the one in Turning Red. Like she's always in the bathroom because type 1 diabetics pee a lot because they drink a lot, and she's got the patch on her arm. Like that's okay, at least it's accurate, but there's not much of her there. And then we have Trinity Bales, who is a main character, if not the main character of the show, who is a type 1 diabetic, and they get shit wrong, and they don't really have much of her doing type 1 diabetic things. Like, they should have had her have, like, an insulin pump that she just, like, has strapped to her. Like, she's wearing a skirt and she should have, like, an insulin pump, like, underneath her vest, so that she just lifts up and, like, dials in numbers and stuff. Have, like, a jelly bean pack or something on her. Like, just to remind us that she's a type 1 diabetic. Like, and I know the Baddists and Pastra recently watched season 2, and even they said that they forgot that she was a type 1 diabetic and that she can't have sugar. Well, she can, she just needs to properly calculate her insulin for it. But since we don't see her ever take insulin, I guess she can't have sugar. I mean, yeah, that's my 2 cents on the Welcome to Ravenbrooks thing. And I know a few other people pointed out the inaccuracies. The radio stars pointed it out. They said, yes, finally someone is saying this. OMG, I've been arguing this, but people genuinely don't seem to give a damn. Thank you so much, OP. And it's like, thank you for also having an understanding my issue with the show. I mean, it's a really good show. I love how it's written. I love the characters and that. But it's just the type 1 diabetes thing that's just rubbing me the wrong way. Because it's a serious medical condition, and if you get that wrong, people will get the wrong idea. Like, you could have just said that she calculated wrong and had the wrong item of food. That would explain why she went into the coma, but no, you switched hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia, which is not good. It's a dangerous thing because they have different symptoms and different ways to treat it. You don't give insulin to someone who's in a hypo. You give them sugar. Like, you don't give sugar to someone who's having a hypo, you give them insulin. Like, you see the problem here? If you want to have type 1 diabetic characters, please do your research and make sure that you get things right. Otherwise, you're going to have people like me coming down to your house, banging on your door and saying, you got it wrong.
Cocaine and drinking with your friends. You live in the dark, boy, I got my